Hello, welcome to our channel. I hope everything is fine. First of all, write yourself and leave your like. And now, without further ado, let's walk through the mysteries of humanity. What does science say about the Tower of Babel? Did it exist? Why did it collapse? Is there anything left? Where? Who was Nimrod? The episode of the Tower of Babel and the dispersion of humanity is one of the subjects most present in people's memory. However, little is known about this tower. What was it like? Rectangular, circular, elliptical? How tall did you average? Was it a mere tower or a temple? Where was it? Are there still traces? Who conceived it? Was it God who punished? Why punished? Did God bring down the tower? If it wasn't God, who was it? Why did she become the symbol of the curse? Where did its builders go? Did the men who made the pyramids of Egypt, the Mayans or similar ones have anything to do with the architects of the Tower of Babel? The paradigmatic Tower of Babel, of which Genesis tells us and from which the diversity of human languages comes, is involved in dense clouds of questions. Its construction undoubtedly constituted one of the most sinful moments in human history, leaving a trail of misfortunes that we suffer until today. It is estimated that its construction took place around the year 2420 BC, that is, approximately 130 years after the flood. Thus, well before the beginning of the Great Pyramid of Egypt, circa 2170 BC, the birth of Abraham, 1976 BC, and the founding of the Kingdom of Babylon, circa 1894 BC. We use the time scale that pinpoints the creation of Adam at approximately 4000 BC. The Tower of Babel is, therefore, the oldest monument of great importance that is known. The Holy Bible is the document most worthy of faith and the most serious and detailed historical source. The tower was built by close descendants of Noah, at a time when the small number of humanity at that time lived together and spoke the same language, probably the same as that of Adam and Noah. According to tradition, Nimrod, great-grandson of the patriarch Noah, was the king who commanded the construction of the tower. It is commonly assumed that the Tower of Babel was erected in southern Mesopotamia. That is, in present-day Iraq, not far from the city of Babylon, founded much later, or at most in the south of Iran. The ruins of Babylon are located on the Euphrates River, 100 kilometers south of Baghdad, the capital of present-day Iraq. There are other theories about the location, supported by different arguments, also lacking in definitive archaeological or material evidence. We read in Genesis. It was because of the pride of the men who undertook the construction of the famous tower that God confused their language, making them not understand each other due to the different languages they spoke. Unable to agree, the men scattered in all directions. Outside the Bible, the most explicit testimony is found engraved on a Babylonian slab of dark stone preserved today in the famous The Scoia'tael collection, MS 2063, based in Oslo and London. On this plate the king of Babylon Nebuchadnezzar II had written, in the year 570 BC. An ancient king built the temple of the seven lights of the earth, but he did not complete its head. From a remote time, people had abandoned him, unable to express their words. Since that time earthquakes and lightnings had scattered their sun-dried clay, the roof bricks had cracked, and the earth inside had been scattered in heaps. In this way, King Nebuchadnezzar II himself gives us an idea of what was left of the Tower of Babel. He also informs us that he himself ordered to collect the last usable elements to build a new tower, with nothing left of the original tower. The new Tower of Babel was probably the ziggurat, tower temple, known as Marduk or Etemenenki, in the city of Babylon. For the immense work it required, Nebuchadnezzar II enslaved the Jews and took them to Babylon, destroying Jerusalem and Solomon's temple. The new Tower of Babel referred to on the stone plaque was 7 or 8 stories tall and 91 meters high. This second Tower of Babel ended up collapsing. About the original Tower of Babel, the Hebrew historian Flavius Josephus, 37 or 38 AD, 100 AD, in his book, Jewish Antiquities, 1.4.3, provides the following description. It was Nimrod who excited them to practice such an affront in the presence of God. He was the grandson of Ham, son of Noah, a courageous man with great power of command. Nimrod persuaded them not to attribute their work to God, as if they were happy only for themselves, and believed that only their effort would bring happiness. He was turning his government into a tyranny, seeking to keep men from the fear of God, and to keep them in constant dependence on his power. So the crowd was always ready to obey Nimrod's orders and judge it a show of cowardice to submit to God. They built a tower, sparing no effort and in no way being negligent in the work. And because of the very many hands employed, the tower went up very quickly, faster than could be expected. Its thickness was so great, and it was so solidly built, that its great height seemed, from any point of view, to be less than it really was. It was made of fired bricks cemented with a mortar made of bitumen that did not allow water to leak. When God saw that they acted with so much evil, he decided not to exterminate them completely. And since they had not progressed in wisdom after the destruction of the sinners who preceded them, in the flood, so he created a turmoil among them by making them speak different languages, and making them unable to understand one another. The place where they built the tower is now called Babylon because of the confusion of languages, which before were easily understood. By the word Babel, the Hebrews understand confusion. Both from what the Bible teaches and from what the historian Flavio Josepho explains, we see that the cause of the punishment was pride contained in a secular dream of completely human grandeur. Moved by him, the men of the Tower of Babel intended to erect a work, whose top reaches the heavens, in order to make our name famous, Gen. 11:4. And then, what did you think? I hope you enjoyed the video. What is your opinion on the matter?